Um, Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and for today's video, we're going to answer and assess the packet tracer in chapter 7, which entitled Configuring IPv6 Addressing. So here, we are given the table of the addressing. So later on, we're going to refer on the table. So let's first read the objectives of this activity. So configure IPv6 addressing on a router. And part 2, configure IPv6 addressing on servers. Part 3, configure IPv6 addressing on client. And part 4, test and verify network connectivity. So, background. In this activity, you'll practice configuring IPv6 addresses on routers, servers, and clients. You will also practice verifying your IPv6 addressing implementation. So, part 1 of this activity is configure IPv6 addressing on a router. So step 1 is enable the router to forward IPv6 packets. So enter the IPv6 unicast routing global in global configuration mode. This command must be configured to enable the router to forward IPv6 packet. This command will be discussed in a later semester. So I will give you some ideas of what this IPv6 unicast routing command is. So an IPv6 unicast address is an identifier for a single interface, so on a single node. A packet that is sent to a unicast address is delivered in the interface identified by that address. So later on, we will know how this command will work. So let's start to configure the router. Then privilege exec mode, then global config terminal node. Then we're going to type the IP, that command. Then second step is configure IPv6 addressing on gigabit internet 0/0. So now we're going to assign an IPv6 address here. So this is the given IP address. So interface slash 0/0. Then we're going to assign the IPv6 address. This is the IP address for the gigabit 0/0. Then after that, we're going to configure a link local IPv6 address with the following command. So it's just the same command, IPv6 then address, and then the link local here is this, and we're going to type after the address is the link local hyphen local. That's it. Then to activate this interface, we need to enter the no shutdown command, then exit. Next is enter the command necessary to transition into interface compression mode for gigabit 01. Refer to the addressing table to obtain the IPv6 and configure the IP. So first, we're going to enter another IPv6 interface. So it is now gigabit Ethernet 0/1. So the IP address here should be this, and then we're going to copy, paste, and then enter. And then we're going to assign the link local IP address. So this is our default IP address for link local. Then we're going to type the command again, link hyphen local. And then to activate this interface, we need the no shutdown command. So next is to configure IPv6 addressing on serial 0/0. So here are the steps. So enter in the commands. Let's just do this. So interface serial 0/0/0, and then the IPv6 address, which is here. This is the IPv6 address of the serial interface. I'm just going to paste, and also we're going to assign the link local IP address, which is this. Then paste, and then the link -local command. And then to activate this interface, you just need to type the no shutdown command. Next is, now that we are done configuring the IPv6 addressing on a serial interface, next is configure IPv6 addressing on the servers. So here in this topology, we have two servers. This is the accounting server and the CAD server. So first is we're going to configure in the accounting server. So here is the instruction. Click the accounting and click the desktop tab and go to IP configuration, and then set the IPv6 address to be given in the address table, and then set the IPv6 gateway to link local address. Then step 2, repeat. So we're just going to repeat the procedures in assigning the IPv6 address here in accounting to the CAD. So let's configure that. So let's proceed to the accounting desktop tab, and then IP configuration. So here we're going to assign the IPv6 address and the prefix and then the gateway. So first, let's find in the table the IPv6 address of the accounting. So here, this is the accounting, and this is the IPv6 address, and the prefix here, as you can see, is 64, and then the default gateway is here is FE80:1, and then we'll just repeat that on the CAD server. So go to desktop tab, IP configuration, just going to look the table. This is the CAD, and this is the IP address, that the IPv6 address that we need, and the prefix will be 64, and the default gateway should be FE80:1. So now that we are done in configuring the two servers that we have, next thing we need to do is to configure IP addressing on the client. So step 1, configure IPv6 addressing on the sales and billing clients. So this is the sales and the billing clients. And step 2, configure addressing in engineering and design. So the next thing we need to do is to configure the devices sales, billing, design, engineering with their proper IP address and prefixes here in the addressing table. So first, we'll proceed to the sales PC, and then desktop, and then IP configuration, and sales. The proper or the right IPv6 address here is this, and then the prefix is 64, and then the default gateway is of course the FE80:1. Now we're done in the sales desktop. Now we're going to billing. So IP configuration. Here in the table, this is the IP address, IPv6 address of the billing, and thus, of course, the prefix will be 64, and the default gateway. And let's check if we make it right. Let's double check. As you can see, The link local address will be automatically be assigned or fill up here since we configured that earlier in the router. So it will automatically assign. So next in design, this is the IPv6 address of the design. Then the prefix should be 64, and the default gateway will be FE80 :1. Next is the engineering laptop configuration, IP configuration, and the IPv6 address here is this, and then the prefix 64, the default gateway, of course, the FE80 :1. And as you notice, it will again, if you revisit the IP configuration tab, it will automatically assign a link local address. So now that we managed to configure all of the devices and servers, the next thing we need to do is to test and verify network connectivity. So in order to do that, step 1, open the server web pages from the clients. Then next is ping. Now before we proceed in the verifying connection, we need to first test the network connectivity. So first, let's click here in the sales desktop, and then proceed to web browser, and then we're going to type in the URL box the address of one of the server, which is accounting. I think this is accounting server. Then go. That's it. So it's okay here in the sales PC. So we're going to try that in all of the end devices here. So next is in the billing. Proceed to web browser, and you're going to type here the IPv6 address of the accounting server. So okay, so it's okay here in the billing. Next is in design, and then web browser. So it's okay here already in design. Lastly, in engineering. Okay, so it's appearing. So the test, and so we verify the network connectivity here in the different devices. So next is to ping the ISP. So in pinging the ISP, open any client computer configuration window by clicking the icon. Then click the desktop tab and the command prompt, and then you will going to ping the given the given IPv6 address. So example, we go to sales, then of course command prompt, and then we're going to ping this address, then paste. So okay, so the connectivity here is okay. Then let's proceed to the other computer client. So here in the command prompt, and then ping. So okay, we're getting replies here, so it means that we are good to go. Then design, then command prompt, then ping again. Okay, we're getting also here the replies, so we're good. Then lastly, in the engineering, command prompt, and then ping. So okay, so here we're also getting a reply, so 0% lost. So we already test and verify the network connectivity in this packet tracer. So I think that's it for this packet tracer activity. So let's check. First, let's check the result if we manage to and to assess all of this PVT. Let's check. So that's it. So it tells here just congratulations, you successfully completed the packet tracer configuration IPv6 addressing activity. So let's check the item 100 over 100. So let's close. So that's it for today's video, and if you like this video and if you learned something, please like and share and subscribe to my channel. So thank you for watching. Bye bye.